here?
We were having a chat.
About what?
A third party is truly required, Father.
No, sister. No third party. You and I are due for a talk. You have to stop this campaign against me.
You can stop it at any time.
How?
Confess and resign.
You are attempting to destroy my reputation, but the result of all this is going to be your removal, not mine.
What are you doing at this school?
I am trying to do good.
Or even more to the point, what are you doing in the priesthood?
You are single-handedly holding this school and this parish back.
From what?
Progressive education and a welcoming church.
You can't distract me, Father Flynn. This isn't about my behavior. It's about yours.
It's about your unfounded suspicions.
That's right. I have suspicions.
You know what I haven't understood through all of this? Why do you suspect me? What have I done?
You gave that boy wine to drink, and you let him take the blame.
That's completely untrue. Did you talk to Mr. McGinn?
All McGinn knows is the boy drank wine. He doesn't know how he came to drink it.
Did his mother have something to add to that?
No.
So that's it. There's nothing there.
I'm not satisfied.
Well, if you're not satisfied, ask the boy then.
No. The boy would lie for you. That's what he's been doing this entire time.
That's not the right line.
I'm sorry, yes. No, the boy would. No. The boy would cover for you.
Protect?
That's what he's been doing. Protect you. No, the boy would protect you.
No,
That's what
no,
he's been doing
no,
this entire
time. No. No, he'd protect you.
He'd protect you.
That's what he's been doing.
No, he'd protect you. That's what he's been doing.
Oh, and why would he do that?
Because you've seduced him.
You're insane! You've got it in your head I corrupted this child after giving him wine, and nothing I say will change that.
That's right.
But correct me if I'm wrong, this has nothing to do with the wine, not really. You had a fundamental mistrust of me before this incident. It was you who warned Sister James to be on the lookout, wasn't it?
That's true.
So you admit it?
Certainly.
Why?
I know people.
That's not good enough.
It's have to be.
How's that?
You will tell me what you've done.
Oh, I will?
Yes.
I'm not one of your truant boys, you know. Sister James is convinced I'm innocent.
So you talked with Sister James. Of course you talked with Sister James.
Did you know that Donald's father beats him?
Yes.
And might that not account for the odd behavior Sister James noticed in the boy?
It might.
Then what is it? What? What did you hear? What did you see that convinced you so thoroughly?
What does it matter?
I want to know.
On the first day of this school year, I saw you touch William London's wrist, and I saw him pull away.
That's all?
That was all.
But that's nothing.
What are you writing now?
You leave me no choice. I'm writing down what you say. I tend to get too flustered to remember the details of an upsetting conversation, and this may be important. When I talked to the Monsignor and explained why you have to be removed as the principal of this school.
This morning, before I spoke with Mrs. Muller, I took the precaution of calling your old parish to which you were assigned.
What did he say?
Who?
The pastor?
I didn't speak to the pastor. I spoke to one of the nuns.
You should have spoken to the pastor.
I spoke to a nun.
It's not the proper route for you to have taken, sister. The church is very clear you're supposed to go through the pastor.
Why? Do you have an understanding, you and he? Father Flynn, you have a history.
You have no right to go rummaging through my past.
This is your third parish in 5 years.
Call the pastor and ask him why I left. It was perfectly innocent.
I'm not calling the pastor.
I am a good priest, and there is nothing in my record to suggest otherwise.
You will hurt another child and another until you are stopped.
What nun did you speak to?
I won't say.
I have not touched a child!
You have.
You have not the slightest proof of anything.
No, but I have my certainty. And armed with that, I will go back to your last parish and the one before that if necessary. I will find a parent, Father Flynn, trust me. A parent who doesn't know you are still working with children. And when I do, you will be exposed. You may even be attacked, metaphorically or otherwise.
You have no right to act on your own. You are a member of religious order. You have taken vows of being one. You answer to us. You have no right to step outside the church.
I will step outside the church and do what needs to be done, though the door may slam behind me. I will do what needs to be done, though I may be condemned to hell. Do not mistake me, Father Flynn. Now, did you give Donald Muller wine to drink?
Have you never done anything wrong?
I have.
Mortal sin?
Yes.
And?
I confessed. Did you give Donald Muller wine to drink?
Whatever I have done, I left in the healing hands of my confessor. As have you. We are the same.
We are not the same. A dog that bites is a dog that bites. Sorry, I'm losing this line. A dog that bites is a dog that bites.
I do not justify.
I do not justify what I have done. I repent. Something and take my medicine. Did you give Donald Muller wine to drink?
No.
You lie.
That's the wrong line. Mental reservation.
Oh, thank you. Can we go back? Did you give Donald Muller wine to drink?
No.
Mental reservation?
No.
You lie. Sorry, I don't know this line.
Is this where we are?
Yeah.
Like, do we know past it?
Yeah, this is kind of where we got to yesterday.
So we're not memorized to the end yet.
I am. I'm just very shaky on it.
Okay, let's have a seat.
Yeah.
You can have your seat back.
No, we could just go again. So, what work did we do last night?
I did a lot of like the searching of the hierarchies, seeing how important this is. There's a lot of work that needs to be done to get higher. So I'm on the elevation, I'm like down here still. I still need to work ways up. So I had to take into account that if she does this, like I won't be able to go any higher. Like this is it. This is my life. Like I can go do other things, but this is not what I want. So I definitely ingrained that. Definitely looking at perfecting the words as far as like exclamation points and like stage instructions. So I've been going through that. Did go over read the play, and like my monologues definitely give me a lot more insight as well as what my character is going through, what he's dealing with, and like side conversations with like Sister James.
So tell me about Flynn.
So he starts off with this monologue that's all about like doubt, and he talks about like despair and being alone, and he gives that, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but where the person creates the raft and is sailing for 28 days, and
So what does that tell you about him?
he's lonely. I feel like that's him. Like he has doubts. He feels alone. He feels like like he's really just like he's looking for God, but God's not giving him any signs or directions right now. Like he's
What
just.
did you hear at the end of that first monologue?
That first one. I can't remember.
It was that even in doubt, you'll be alone in your thoughts. Like you'll be alone going after what you truly believe in. 'Cause that one hit me too. When I reread that one, it was like, she's alone in this. And the author's already told us in the very first monologue that she's gonna embark on this alone. No one's gonna be with her. But you still have to go. And he himself said that, you know?
So listen to this. There are those of you in church today who know exactly the crisis of faith I describe. I want to say to you, doubt can be a bond as powerful and sustaining as certainty. When you are lost, you are not alone. He's an amazing storyteller. He's an incredibly awesome speaker. He is inspiring in a way the church doesn't get very much. I didn't share with you this yesterday because it's sort of irrelevant, but I have a lot of experience here because I grew up Catholic. I was an altar boy. My great uncle was a bishop. And you know, from hierarchy, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it's really.
I was because of my uncle. So I'm very familiar with a lot of the good and have researched a lot of the bad, and I can see both. And it's helped open my eyes to the fact that exists everywhere. There's good dads and bad dads, right? I mean, everywhere. People corrupt. But this is important for you to know about him. He's really, really good. And a priest like this, I had a priest one time early in my marriage. I'd never seen it before in my life. The priest grabbed the microphone and walked up and down the aisles during his sermon. And it was like, whoa. And we loved it. And the church was packed. And what did the big corporation of Catholicism do? They moved him to a place that was dying. And they brought in somebody else who was dead in the water. And the church went. Interesting. He's fantastic. The way he talks to the boys, the way he talks when he's coaching, he's an inspiration. The way he threatens her and Sister James in the pillow feathers. Brilliant, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just brilliant. So there's a reason for his confidence. In some ways, he's earned it. And that's okay. He comes in like, what's the matter? Are you jealous? Yes, the kids love me. Yes, all the nuns think I'm a great speaker. Why do you hate me so much? Just because everyone loves me? because those things are true. The questions you have to wrestle with as an actor have nothing to do with his skills, because his skills are the best the church has seen. The question is, why have you been moved to your third parish in 5 years? What's the real reason? There's something. There's something there. You might get moved once because of the positive thing that I just mentioned, but you're not going to get moved 3 times in 5 years. Church covering up. And it could be a relationship. It could be a relationship that, something. It could be something. And oftentimes, the most heinous acts can be hidden underneath the shiniest objects. And it's possible that that's what he is. Just an extraordinarily charismatic dude that has this underside to him. There could be a part of him that doesn't even know how bad it is, because it's like it's consensual, so it doesn't feel like it's that way. It's an element of forgiveness that needs to be given to all, both victims and predators, in different ways. And this play deals with all that. What did you find out about Sister, or how did the two of you get together to rehearse?
Yeah.
Also,
Mm-hmm.
okay, great.
Yeah.
So what did you do then?
I crawled back through the script. I took note of every single period, exclamation point, question mark, because we did have some things a little bit different. And then even this morning when we spoke, we kind of reworked some of it because there wasn't an exclamation point there where I was going to yell. And after our talk yesterday of just honoring this script exactly what it says and saying it the way that it's supposed to be said, it didn't make sense for me to scream at certain, get really angry at certain parts. So I took her more as like, she's just like simmering under the surface and waiting for him to make a mistake, and then she can jump on it. But like you said, he's such a good speaker, and he's so, well, in her mind, he's very calculating.
Totally.
He's very precise.
You know who was the most charismatic single dude? Ted Bundy.
Right? Yeah.
Right? So she's saying, from her point of view, she sees through.
Yes. Yes.
Just like the most popular kid who's really good at getting away, she sees through it.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot more just, and that's why I didn't really go past about, page 4 or 5 yesterday, because I really wanted to get down some of this stuff just with the limited time that we had after we spoke.
Yeah.
So I wanted to get the words much more precise and not make an error in the isn't or is not.
Yes, and there were some by both of you.
Okay.
There were some. And so, assuming you're going to continue with the scene, you need to, that's first thing.
Yeah.
And you gotta just be absolutely on the lines. Do not slip one little tiny thing. Like you said, you and I are due for a talk. The line is, you and me are due for a talk. The question is, why is it me and not I? From Father Flynn. And you ask yourself that question, you memorize it correctly, but you say, why? What does that tell me about him if he phrases the question in that way, and why does it matter? What's the difference, really? And it is a big difference. One's more proper, one's more casual, one's this, one's that, and it's like, okay, what am I really trying to get across here? Go ahead.
I also going back to the script as well, when we talked about when does he use the name Donald Muller versus using that boy versus how he references that character. And I did study that a lot more, and he calls Donald's mother. He doesn't call her Mrs. Muller, which is weird because he calls all of the other adults in the play other than his mother by their formal name. Mr. McGinn, Sister James. I mean, he uses these other words, but he says Donald's name a couple times so casually. And that was big too. And so when I wanted to walk away, it was like when he's saying this name, it's like, why are you so casual about him? And especially his mother. Like, we're not talking about Donald's mother, we're talking about Mrs. Muller. So that kind of made a difference too. And then I also went back and reread the first sermon of the book. I tried to reread the whole play. It was a lot to read. That's okay. And then I reread the whole scene where Sister James and I are talking in the garden, the first scene, where she's talking to her about, you need to be hardened. You need to take everything with a grain of salt that these children say, right? Because there's stuff that's happening beneath the surface. And then I also reread when Sister James came to her and told her that Father Flynn was alone with Donald in the rectory, and what were they doing in there and why. So that was good insight to reread that, knowing everything we know now.
Yeah. All right, good. Why did we get up and switch chairs?
We talked about like him writing in his book, and we kind of tried it where he was like writing on the side of the desk from the other seat, but it felt like it was a power shift where he had said to her, basically like, did you get what you needed from Donald's Muller and from Donald's mother? And she had to admit no.
Correct.
So that was like a really big word.
It is, well, he thinks it is.
Yeah, he thinks it's a win. Exactly. Like, and I wrote in the script, like, is she losing here?
Yeah, no. She's not. But he thinks she is. So, what I'm going to tell you is it's really sneaky how it's in, because Shanley. And here's the thing, when you get the stage direction, you're like, oh man, I gotta follow the stage. When you don't get it, you're like, come on, man, give me some hints, you know?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, because there's nothing in
There's
there.
none.
There's
There's
nothing.
none. There's a few, but very rare.
Right.
So, I think the hints are, she goes to the door, and he says, wait, and then she leaves, and he then goes to the phone, which means you can't already be there. I don't believe she would ever in a million. This is like you're playing tag and you got home base. You'd never give up the base. You would never surrender power to him until when? Until you leave. What do you say when you leave?
I say
This might even be even better.
the first time I go, or the second time that because I go to leave, I get up and I go to leave, and I say when I leave, I will not come back. Like,
Yeah.
you can't stop me. Once I
No,
once
the
I go.
end. Let's see.
Once I go, I will not stop.
Know where you can get at it. He says, where's your compassion? Know where you can get at it. Compose yourself. Use the phone if you like.
Yeah.
Good day, Father. To which he then should be somewhere over here probably, see the phone, have a moment, work his way to the phone, sit down. Yes, this is Father, and then say what he says there.
Okay.
That's that moment.
So the whole time, she's staying here in her power, not even standing.
Not even
Just
standing.
sitting.
Yeah,
calm.
and if she does, it would be a moment of maybe she stands and confronts him, or she would maybe you could put a window in your imagination off to the side of your desk as some place, but you would never give away. You'd never trade spots.
Okay.
He's gonna have to rip you out of there.
Okay.
Okay, and you feel very comfortable in her office, so if it was available, you would take it.
Well, he has already in previous scenes.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So yes. So that's an obvious.
Okay.
But I think you could probably sit in that chair and take your notes in your hand, and it wouldn't feel awkward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'd be leaning to see. I mean, I'm interested in what he's writing. No?
Could care less.
Oh, okay. It's more like,
You
what
know,
are you
what
writing
he's
now?
writing. You're not giving her enough credit. She's smart as a whip. What is he writing?
I guess nothing she cares about,
You
right?
say, what are you
What are you
writing down?
now?
I'm writing down what you say. What have you said?
Yeah. I've said what I believe. I mean, I've said.
What do you say after that?
I'm writing on I say this morning.
That's right.
Before.
That's right. So while he's writing his notes, you think to yourself, Yuga, compose. You're thinking to yourself, while you're writing that down, perhaps you ought to add this. To which we again, as the actor, we need to, there is something. Remember I said, like, you don't have to be guilty, or you could be guilty, but there's something. You could be maybe guilty at the last place, but not guilty here, or not guilty here yet. There's a lot of things that could be, but something happened. Because she says, I took the liberty of calling the last parish to which you were assigned. What did he say? Like, we're good. We already have our story straight. What'd he say? I was awesome? What'd he say? They miss me a lot?
Who?
No, I spoke to a nun.
Yeah.
What? You shouldn't have done that. I spoke to a nun. You shouldn't have done that. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
Is she lying? Is she lying? Which nun did you speak to? I won't say.
I won't say.
Later we find out that was bullshit.
Yeah.
You're lying straight
Lying
face.
straight to his face.
Man, power move.
Which is funny, just so.
That's all the evidence she needs.
Yeah.
That's all the evidence she needs. If he just said the same casualness, okay, which nun? What did she say? There's obviously nothing there. But he didn't. He freaked out.
Yeah.
He freaked out. So something is there. She's crafty.
Yeah.
And she's ballsy. And she wins in being older, smarter, and better at chess. He's flashier. Really, really good, really smooth. And she's just letting him fail. So what you've got to find now next, and to do the part properly, what I'd like you to do is work on the monologues as a part of your character work. You should have them all memorized. You got to find how just unbelievable. He's a rock star. There's no other way to put it.
Like his sermon monologues.
Yes, yeah, memorize them, work on them, develop that, but understand this guy's got charisma. People love him. One of the actors in the last scene said, basically, she didn't say it this way, she's more humble, but she said, I'm good enough that I get to skate a lot, and I don't like getting to skate. I love having someone call me on it, right? He's so good, he skates anything. He's so good. You gotta get, he's not boring, he's not lame, he's not just like what you would think of as like, oh, a boring like this dude's awesome. Some of the best motivational speakers on the planet don't make good speeches like this, and the dude's just busting them out every Sunday. People are pouring in from the neighborhood. This guy talk. He's great. And in the church, another thing culturally to understand, especially back then, the priest did get very involved in the community, and he was a celebrity. Like people would fight to have him over to dinner at their house, and his schedule would get booked. Like, oh, we want to have you to dinner. He's like, I'm already booked like 2 weeks out. They treat him very well, and the better he is at his job, the more the perks. So you got to find that, and I want you to. We're going to do a little bit of the scene here in a minute. I want you to bring some of that in to this, because you're right now pretty much only playing mad or mildly mad. Mm-hmm. And I want you to play cunning lawyer and, confident. Like you shouldn't think you're gonna lose. You can be offended by her disrespect of the rules, but you can't think you're gonna lose until the tables finally turn. In fact, I think she says what she says, like just tell me. I mean, I think it's like that. Like, what is it? Like, what did I do? What did I say? You tell me. Like, give me the exact thing. And she tells you, and you can't believe how idiotic that is. Really? Like, you're gonna go to the bishop and tell him that? You're done, lady. You got nothing. Your evidence, it means, so a kid pulls away? Kids pull away all the time. It's literally, you have nothing. If there was something, she ain't got it. And you can see it, and you're like, damn. Not only are you walking out of here scot-free, but you're about to put her on the gallows. She's gone. Mm-hmm. You hear that and you go, hey, Lord, let's talk. This girl's got a vendetta. Look what she's doing. She said this. She's trying to make me into this thing. You're at that, when you're writing it down, you're like, let's go. You're excited. This is awesome. And then when you transfer from that to the I spoke to a nun, that's when we see And I'll tell you, you need to get hardened. You already got this sitting up straight pretty well. You need to harden her.
Okay.
I think one of the things that makes her cunning and spiteful sometimes, but just like charming through it, is her lived experience. Having gone through the war and having gone through losing a husband and having gone through all that she's gone through and understanding what it means to give tough, stand up to power. Mm-hmm. Don't get in through this. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Her exact words are, I went through this at another parish. But I had whoever it was.
She had a really good Monsignor.
Who I could count on.
Who she could talk to.
Again, he's old and lost it.
Yeah.
He's dude's off his rocker. He's so old that the dude couldn't help. He can't tie his shoes. So I had a Monsignor I could talk to, I could trust, who respected me, I respected him. We stayed in our places. I don't have that now. I got no allies, zero.
Yeah.
So we got to keep it on the down low. I'm alone in this fight, I know it. But I care about the children, and I will not let this kid suffer. All right.
Okay. It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to sit still and do that, simmer in that. I don't like it.
And I feel the same with anger too. I feel like it's hard to stand still when I'm angry, because I do feel like when you are really angry, you do stand still, but it's just like the controlled, like keeping it controlled is a little.
Yeah. So what for both of you, what you need is patience, and you have to breathe, and you got to settle into the space, and you got to really listen. So you should be bringing even up higher. You should be thinking something nasty about me. Nastier, because I don't see it. I don't see it.
Okay.
Yeah. Just having a hard time.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah.
So you got to go there. All right.
Okay.
On your side, you should be looking at her, and what are you seeing? This decrepit old has-been. You can then, if you want to, at times, can interrogate her. You can be a lawyer. You can move a little if you need to. Any movement is like, now I'm held accountable for that, and the more I move, that's important. So you don't have to be the whole time. It's like I shut the door, you me and do fuck. Maybe we're at odds. And then where does it change? It's pretty clear when he comes down.
What I haven't understood through all of this is, why do you suspect me?
I think it's before that. So it's, you have stuff that's vendetta against me.
I'm trying to do good.
I'm trying to do good. And then is it right after that he says?
I'm trying to do good. You were single-handedly holding this school and this parish back.
And I say from what?
Progressive education and a welcoming church.
Yeah. You can't distract me, Father Flynn. This isn't about my behavior, it's about yours.
It's about your unfounded suspicions.
What'd you say?
It's about your unfounded suspicions.
Oh, yeah, that's right, I have suspicions.
And then it's,
Oh yeah, you know what I haven't understood through all of this? Why do you suspect me? What have I done?
You gave that boy wine to drink, and you let him take the blame.
that's pretty, yeah, that probably is where it comes down. It comes down there. He comes down. And think about this, and this is a lesson for everybody. You have a want, always. I have a want and you have a want. And if it's written well, our want is shifting. So what I'm doing is I'm coming in, trying to get my want. It's not working. So I change tactics. So now I'm gonna try something else. I'll try my charismatic self. I'll try to be a little sarcastic. I'll do whatever I gotta do to get through to this old hag, because she needs to stop saying what she's saying, or everyone's gonna be talking about it, and like, it's not true. Like feathers in the wind, all of a sudden people think this thing about me because of you. My guess is that he isn't on Donald. But he is planting seeds. Subconsciously or consciously, he's planting seeds. And he was guilty of something at the last two parishes.
Is that based off the script or this performance?
It's based off of my interpretation of the script, but what's interesting is every actor can and should, and director, make their own choice. But I believe that's why he's able to fight so vehemently for his innocence, because he is in this. But that's why he's so guilty and so, horrifically hurt because he's got this past that's painful and true. And he's trying to not do it, but then like, you know, it's there. Like it's in him, and he's fight this thing. But in this case, what he's saying happened, but because of his past, he's gonna get hammered for this. It's my guess, but I don't know. And your story is what about the boy?
My story.
What's your story? What's your alibi? You gave that boy wine to drink and you let him take the blame. What's your story?
My story is I didn't. No.
No, it's in there. What's your story? What do you say happened?
Well, I say it's not true.
But what is true? You say it. Oh, it's in the Sister James, I think, scene.
Oh, that he got a hold of the wine just because of. Now I'm confused. Wait.
Your story is he was drinking wine. You caught him.
Mm-hmm. Well.
You caught him wine.
Yeah.
And you decided not Mr. McGinn because you thought this boy already had too many things going against him.
Oh, that's right.
And the boy happens to be gay. He happens to be getting beat by his father. And you thought the last thing he needs, if I tell Mr. McGinn and he gets in trouble, his dad's gonna beat the living hell out of him.
And I convinced Sister James about it because like that could remove her from her position and back to you as well. So
correct.
That's how he convinces her.
So that's his story.
Yeah.
And again, that's my thought. That could be true, but it doesn't mean that you weren't subconsciously planting a seed here and you don't have a past there. It doesn't mean that that's not true.
Right.
But I mean, that could be a whole lot. That's the idea here, which is interesting because it could be that you're wrong.
Yeah.
Totally
absolutely.
wrong, and yet still right.
Yeah. Yeah. Wrong on this one incident, but still have that feeling that she's been through before with somebody else. She still has that feeling with him.
All right, let's go.
Hold on one second. Okay.
May I come in?
We would require a
Good,
third
go
party.
again. Stay right there. Slower, more strength, less attitude.
Okay.
Right there, stay right there.
Just stay right there.
Use every word.
May I come in?
Nope. Stop after each word. Slow yourself way down.
May I come in?
There you go.
We would require.
No, need it back.
We would. We would require a third party.
What was
Good,
Donald?
less attitude. Do it
Yeah.
again. And third party got pushed together.
Third. We would require a third party.
What was Donald's mother doing here?
We were having a chat.
About what?
Yeah, do it again. Chat, wait a second, and then hit her with what she says to you.
We were having a chat.
About what?
Yeah, good. You hear it though, right? You hear it?
Yeah.
Which
Giving it
goes back to what we talked about last scene, and I know you were in the room, but in all of these, once we get the characters down and we figure out really what's happening, then we have to go back and redo everything and go, where are the jokes? Where is it funny in all this drama? And we always ask ourselves, how the hell could this be funny? We're talking about rape, right? Yeah. How could it be It's good writing, because life is funny, and it's interesting, and it's these characters colliding, and it's not the topic that's funny, it's the way these two people just butt heads. It's hilarious sometimes. About what? And then you, go.
About what?
A third party is truly required, Father.
No, sister, no third party. You and me are due for a talk.
Now talk like a guy that's got a lot of confidence, who spins out sermons like you wouldn't believe.
No, sister, no third party.
Slow down, slow down. Bring your voice down.
No, sister, no third party. You and me are due for a talk.
Good, again. Less erratic. So, don't be a peon. You own the place.
So when you say erratic, because I know he slammed the door, I feel like they're kind of like contradicting, or...
Yes, yes. So what I mean by erratic is like quick moves. He's under control. He doesn't think he's losing. Mm-hmm. No. You and me are due for a talk. Mm. Oh. You know what I mean? He's in charge. Mm-hmm. He's in charge.
Okay.
Erratic is due for a talk. That's erratic. You don't want to be erratic because you own the place.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's your place. It's your church. Mm-hmm. You're borrowing my desk. If I want to sit there, I do. She really has no right to be doing what she's doing, really, by the rules. That's true. You're not making that up. And you're like, let's just end this. Ask me what you want to ask me. Say what you're going to say. I'll tell you the truth, and let's just be done. Mm-hmm. Because maybe you really don't have anything to hide. Maybe in this instance. Maybe that's true. So you're like, let's go. You want to dance? Let's dance. But you don't have to be yelling to get that across. It's under here. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. Do it again.
Doing it from the top, or?
No, right there.
Okay.
Bring it down. Use your diction. Use your consonants.
No, sister. No third party.
No. Third party. You're doing the same thing with third party she's doing. Don't put it together.
Okay. No, sister. No third party. You and me are due for a talk.
Yeah.
You have to stop this campaign against me.
You can stop it at any time.
How?
All right, good. We'll pause for a second. Shoot. Lost the scene. Yeah, okay. You have stopped this campaign against me is an exclamation point. You're not an exclamation point back.
Right, period.
Period. Because why? Because if he has an exclamation point, winner,
Yeah.
winner.
Yeah.
I used to say when I was a kid, because I wasn't allowed to hit my sisters, like at a certain age, my dad's like, you hit your sister, I hit you. If I ever got my sisters to hit me, I won. I knew I had gotten under their skin. They hit me, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So if you push him to the red, you're winning. Okay. But you don't smirk, you don't show it.
Okay.
You stay strong and firm. But you don't have to hit him back necessarily. That's got an exclamation point. Then you don't have any exclamation points until you attempt to destroy my reputation, exclamation point. It's gonna be your removal, not mine, exclamation point. I'm trying to do good, exclamation point. Holding this parish back, exclamation point. And then progressive education and welcoming church, no exclamation point. So there's our hints. There's the science. You go in, you go, okay, what does that mean? How do I do this and do something with it? Do it again.
You have to stop this campaign against me.
Slower, louder, stronger.
You have to stop this campaign against me.
You can stop it at any time.
How?
Yell, yell. You're screaming, exclamation point.
For how?
Yeah, for all of it.
Okay. How?
Oh, no, you're right. I'm sorry, my bad. Yeah, go.
How?
Confess and resign.
You are attempting to destroy my reputation.
You gotta go slow. You gotta get all the words.
You are attempting to destroy my reputation, but the result of all this is going to be your removal, not mine.
What are you doing in this school?
I am trying to do good.
Or even more to the point, what are you doing in priesthood?
You are single-handedly holding this school and this parish back.
Again, slow it down.
You are single-handedly holding this school and this parish back.
Good.
From what?
A progressive education and welcoming church.
You can't distract me, Father Flynn. This isn't about my behavior. It's about yours.
It's about your unfounded suspicions.
That's
Good.
right.
Go back to the T and about.
It's about your
Yeah, and just slow down. You have to slow down. Keep the anger, slow him down, bring that voice down. And Val, I'm starting to see the charismatic priest who can spin language. You gotta slow down and let Shanley do a lot of the heavy lifting for you.
Okay. It's about your unfounded suspicions.
That's right. I have suspicions.
Breathe. Bring it down. Maybe move.
You know what I haven't understood through all of this?
Slow down.
You know what I haven't understood through all of this? Why do you suspect?
Slow.
Why do you suspect?
Slow.
Why do you suspect?
So do you. It's 2 words.
Why do you suspect me? What have I done?
You hear the difference, people? You hear the difference. I know it feels weird, Val. It feels weird coming out of your mouth, and you're like, this can't be right. When you watch it back, you're gonna go, oh. And it's so weird because it's like the words that were written come out. We hear them, she hears them, she's affected differently, and it moves us. And I had this epiphany. It hit me one time in my Larry Moss class I was taking. I'm on stage, and I heard Larry just ripping on everybody for different things, but this one thing was the slowing down thing. And so as I do, I get competitive. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this thing. I'm talking, in my mind, what on stage feels like a snail. Like I couldn't be talking any slower than I am. And as I do that, I hear just roars from the audience, just laughter and explosion, and they're just like, and I literally had a moment where I'm on stage thinking to myself, it can't be this fucking easy. There's no way. And of course, it was all the other work added up, but I was missing this piece, and this piece set me free. So you must be disciplined and not waste a single word. It's huge, it's everything. It gives you so much power and a leg up on every other actor who doesn't know this or doesn't apply this. We're at time, let's have a seat. Bring your chair around.
Oh, bring it over.
All right. So, how we feeling? First masterclass, made it through day 2.
We did.
Yeah, I feel good. I felt better coming in this morning just after talking yesterday and having a better, more well-rounded understanding of really deep diving into characters.
Yeah.
I mean, even like way beyond what I thought. Is
Probably
paramount.
beyond what you thought was even possible.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing when people learn acting. This happened to me too, by the way. I was an actor for a long time before I was like, oh my God, wow. And you go one way or the other is what happens. You either go, I can't do that, I'm not interested, or you go, I got a lot of work to do, and you put up your sleeves and you go, this is the most exciting thing I've ever seen, and I want more of it. And that's what happened when I sat through a Larry Moss class. I saw it, and I was like, I was one of these kids who was like, I'm a film actor, I don't do theater. But the truth is, I had only seen bad theater. So there was a reason for me to feel that way, and it's okay that I felt that way, because I'd never seen it done properly. I'd never seen a scene come to life. I'd only seen the first version of whatever we've put up. And until you see what it could be, it's like you don't understand what's the big deal? Why does everyone think it's such a big deal? But then when you see it done the right way, you go, oh my God, I am not close. I have so much work, and it's either exciting or scary, and you don't do it. You know, one of the two.
Yeah. It's exciting for
Yeah,
me. So.
we're good. We're good.
It's scary. It's scary, but it is exciting. Like I think I'll take so much from this into the next classes and everything that we do moving forward.
Good.
Huge.
Good.
Yeah.
And the other hard thing I'll say about masterclass in general, and I might repeat this a few times today so that everybody can hear it who comes in, is one of the things that makes this extraordinary experience and different and harder but better for you is my lack of attention until game day. You might think to yourself, well, how come I don't get coaching on them? It's your job to lift up your own bootstraps and do the work yourself. You come in the first time, you don't know, then you know. And if you come in the second time and you do the same crap, I will kick you out of the class. You do not belong here. You're not taking it seriously. But it's extraordinary to realize I am responsible for me. There's no coach that's gonna coddle me halfway through, and it's like, it's okay if I didn't memorize quite this way. You know, we're nice like that weekly. This is, it's designed to be different and to hold you accountable, put a mirror to your face and go, what kind of work do you really do? And then are you willing to do what's required to be excellent? Because it's in you, it's in all of us. It's a matter of, are you willing to do it? Were you done?
Sure, yeah, I'm done. This
Are
feels
you?
like a conversation anyway, so
Yeah.
it's good, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Sir.
I feel great. I think the first day was setting up those expectations and really learning what I needed to be looking for. And then just, you know, after that, like I want to do this more. Like I want to come back and do more classes for this scene because I feel like I can grow. And I know it's just an open that like work with those notes and then bring back today. It's something that you brought into attention, like the technicalities of it, of what you're looking for, like.
No, not what I'm looking for.
Well, not what you're looking for, but what I guess is required in a
possible.
scene.
Yes, what's required. That's a better way to say it.
And it's just, there's so much that you don't really pay attention to until you're actually, you know, getting coached on what, I don't know, I just love
But
the
now
fact-
you know.
Yeah, you do.
So now you were blind and now you see. Now, even if you got a new scene in a future date, you should think to yourself, oh crap, okay, it's work.
Yeah.
And if your scene partner's not scared, you should be like, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into, because you should be.
Yeah.
If you're not, and if you're not, I kind of lose a little respect for you, no offense, but it's like, you know, you really should have a healthy fear because you know how much is required of you to be great. And I said this in the last scene, I'm gonna repeat this again throughout the day. If you could gift yourself with 10% of the effort you put in last night, I see you yawning, good, because you get caught up on sleep, be fine, you're gonna be fine, right? So it's like, if you can take 10% of that work ethic and apply it to your daily schedule, don't set the scene down, don't come back to it 3 weeks from now and be like, oh, we should pick this up. Like, tonight, do a little bit. Tomorrow, do a little. Like, be disciplined about the work, and it's up to you. I remember Larry Moss would say this, because we created the same thing there. We created this weekend of, or there was like a week of this sort of like bubble. And you're in this bubble and you're like, man, I can accomplish anything. And then you get out in the real world with your real job and your real everything, and it's like, it's hard. You can't keep the magic, but you have to put in certain disciplines, certain things that you're willing to start taking on and taking responsibility for. And that's more of what I want to gift everybody, even beyond the scenes, is how do I apply this way of thinking into every area of my life? I want it to seep into my relationship with my mother and my father. I want it to seep into my way I work at my job. And I want to definitely have it seep into my acting that I can and should be working on every day if I want to make acting my day job. Available on Amazon.
I can't wait to do this for comedy. Like,
Yeah.
dig really in, because that's just, yeah.
It comes from the seriousness.
Yeah, yeah.
It comes from being serious as cancer.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it comes. You don't have to add comedy. The comedy's there. You just have to understand the comedy.
Yeah.
Continue. I cut you off.
That's basically it. I enjoyed the class. I really felt like I got a lot. I felt like there's definitely things I want to improve and come back and do again and, grow.
Good. Well, I'm happy for both of you. Thank you for being here. I'm grateful to you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Grateful to you.
Yes,
Thank you so
likewise.
much.